Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Elias. I'm an amateur landscape photographer based out of the Pacific Northwest, and I am really excited about this video, this day, because it's like a full circle moment to me. I just want to give a brief overview of what this video is going to be about and what series this video will be starting. Last year in October of 2022, we bought a used 2003 Mercedes Sprinter T1N extended wheelbase van. We bought this van halfway built out, but it was in real bad shape, and eventually I decided to, as you will see, we gutted the whole thing and I started from scratch. I want to preface these videos where I do not know anything about any of this kind of stuff. I'm not a tradesman. I've worked construction my whole life, but nothing that really has aided me too much in the van build. I'm not a carpenter at all. I've never really worked with wood. Having said that, I wanted to document this video series showing that pretty much an average everyday person like myself went through the trouble of building a van, learning how to do it through YouTube, through forums, through all the avenues that I found online. And literally we are here, we are done. It is August of 2023. The van is done, 10 months to build, and it has been quite the journey. So I just wanted to give a preface for this video and what this video is starting, which is the van build series of this channel. Van right now is in the shop. I had to have a couple things happen to it in order for it to be fully drivable, to be able to go to places I want to go. But I'm extremely excited to show you the transition from this to this, and it is such a difference. It still blows my mind. Again, I am just on cloud nine knowing that all the work is finally done. Mostly done, I should say. There's a couple things I need to do to it still, but you get the idea. I'm really happy with the results. I hope you are too. I hope that in any capacity, if you are looking to try to build a van, this video and this series might help you as a newcomer, just as I was, knowing literally nothing about any of it. As I mentioned, it is a Mercedes Sprinter. It's a 2003, it's 20 years old, but it only had 90,000 miles on it, and that is the entire reason we spent the money on it. These vans are meant to last a lifetime, so 90,000 miles is just kind of scratching the surface on the mileage these things are supposed to hold throughout their life. It is the extended wheelbase. It is extremely long, and again, this van was built out previously, and being built out only left it available for me to utilize things as they were set, such as where the max air fan was, or where the solar panels were attached in the back. And the only thing I kept from the original van build in the end was the cabinet that sits along the driver's side wall and the solar panel setup that it came with. I'll stop talking. I want to keep this brief. Just want to give an overview of the introduction to the van build series. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it. I bought a van. Hello, my name is Elias. I am an amateur landscape photographer, and dare I say it now, an amateur van builder outer, I guess. Welcome to the channel. Normally my channel revolves around me going out, shooting landscape photography, going to different places, mostly around the Pacific Northwest. That kind of content is you. Go ahead and subscribe. I put a video out every single week. But as of right now, this is one of my newest projects. So let me explain real quick. So ever since Norway, when we travel around in that camper van, we have fallen in love with the idea of van life. I always thought about it, and I always thought that I'd really like it, but Norway just proved it that we would love it. So Jess and I have really been trying to find some van that we can buy and build out ourselves. We've kept an eye on it literally for the last 3 months. It's November now, and we have just been scouring the internet, trying to find good deals, trying to find stuff. The economy is kind of crashing right now, so prices are coming down, but they're still a little bit too expensive. So we ended up finding this van, and it was already kind of built out, if you will, and I was like, oh, okay, we can just change some things inside of it, and you know, we'll just go from there. We drove 6 hours to Spokane from Portland to just check out this van and see if we even wanted it. When we checked it out, the guy was super nice. Turns out he was from Florida. Hurricane Ian kind of screwed his stuff up, so we needed to have some fast cash to go back and fix some stuff. So we bought this from him, drove it back down, and lo and behold, I found a lot of stuff. You can find out a lot about a car by driving it for 6 hours straight. Found a lot of stuff wrong with it, realized that there's definitely some work to be had here, and I knew that going into it. Then we got home and I started checking it out, and I realized, like, man, I actually don't like any of this that's actually done inside of here. I am someone who likes to learn things, likes to do things. I can be handy with my hands, but I'm not a tradesman, if you will. So when I started realizing this is going to need a lot more work than I anticipated, I said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna start from ground zero. So Jess and I ended up tearing everything out of the van. We literally tore everything apart at the house. As you can see, it's all just kind of in the middle of it. We're saving the cabinets that were inside of it. We're gonna refurbish those and use them for later purposes. Now, I have this giant project. And I'm going to make a series as someone who has never done this before. Like, there's a lot out there, but I feel like if you keep adding to it, you learn a little bit more, because I watch a lot of channels with different advice and different ways they do things. So I'm going to add to that group of people who's going to be doing that. Do a little mini series as I build out this van to be what we want it to be. Now, mind you, I'm not gonna be living in this van. I'm not living in it. I will be traveling in it. It will have power. It will be decked out, like the whole inside of it will be like a home, but I'm not gonna go as hardcore as put a bathroom in it. I'm probably not gonna have running water in it. It's gonna be pretty bare, basic bones. I'm not going to be living out of this van. Having said that, I'm going to give this van the basics and everything that I think we need, especially the stuff that we had in Norway. And that van, we loved every part of it. And that is a lot of work in itself. The cool thing about vans though is you can just add on to it later if you find something else that you want to do. You want to add more cabinets, you want to add water lines, you do all that stuff, you just keep adding on to it. I have learned so much about vans, about everything. Electricity, framing, how the way people do it, insulating, everything is just, there is a lot to behold, so I'm going to be breaking this series down in different parts. I'm very fortunate in my work as a roofing company has this gigantic shop that I'm able to work at and use their tools and use their resources as I go along this journey. Very thankful for that. I know most people don't have that kind of courtesy of being able to do that kind of stuff, so I'm very thankful for that opportunity to have this. Let's talk about some things real quick. First thing you do when you get something like this, especially a van that's not brand new, needs a lot of work, right? Well, now we have to find out what are those immediate needs and what can wait down the line. Obviously, like a paint job, it needs a new paint job. It can wait until we're done. It doesn't need a paint job right now. Right now, the most important need that I have found after I bought it is that the roof is leaking. The roof has a bunch of rusted out areas in it because this used to be like an ice cream van. I'm assuming it has some sort of sign on top and it had brackets. They took those off. They did a terrible Bondo job. It rusted out everything. I actually got a gap in this area. So right now, I am experimenting for the first time using liquid membrane roofing, PMMA, and I'm going to try to attempt to patch that and seal everything so it is waterproof, so I don't have water leaking down. That was part of the reason we tore everything out, because I saw water coming from behind the cabinets and I was like, nope. Work for a roofing company, water's no good. Tear it all out, let's fix it, let's start from ground zero. So yeah, I'm gonna go up top and I'm gonna start grinding off the old crappy Bondo and see what it looks like and see what we can do. So this first video is just gonna be about that, and then getting rid of all this and seeing what's underneath this floor, because I still haven't seen what's underneath. It's gonna be a lot of work, it's gonna be a long series. I'm not gonna do it in a row because I do still go out and do photography, so it'll be intermittent in between. But if this kind of content does interest you, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm going to continue this and I'm hoping to have it completely finished before spring of next year. It's 2022 right now. I'm hoping to have it finished before spring of 2023. So let's get into it. So this is not fun. I'm up here and the idea behind this is to grind off these bondoed spots and expose the metal, expose the substrate so I can prime it and install the liquid membrane PMMA. So when I'm grinding it down, I find out where the real leak is. This one is really bad. It's rusted out pretty bad. It goes all the way through the van, and actually you can see completely through it. It's a huge gaping gap. So now I know that I have to fill this gap in. So I'm going to be using this stuff called repair paste, and it's kind of like a Bondo. It's kind of like literally what it sounds like. It fills in the empty space, you let it cure, sand it down, grind it down, get it to where it's level with the substrate, and then we can just go from there and PMMA that. So yeah, I need to do that. So the repair paste is gnarly looking. It just looks like putty. And I don't really know how I'm supposed to mix the catalyst with this, but I'm sure gonna try. Mix some catalyst. The whole point of the catalyst is that it activates whatever it's being mixed in, right? Like if it's the primer, the resin. Remember, this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. This is just what I'm doing, and I don't know if I'm doing it right, so God, it smells. All right, so we're all mixed up. Catalyst is added. I'm gonna go up there and apply it now, and then I'm gonna mix up the other resin to coat the other side, and then, yeah, we're gonna start this thing right now. Oh, that looks better. So that's all flashed off. So what I'm gonna do is actually install the PMMA on that one right now. Once that's done, hopefully that'll be done flashing, and then I can install the PMMA on top of that. When I say done flashing, it's not gonna be fully cured, but it'll be flashed off enough to be able to apply the membrane on it. So I'm gonna do this one. So the whole idea behind this is you're installing like a liquid roof, right? This stuff is a liquid roof. It dries up and it is a roofing membrane when it dries. So I primed it, I taped it off so it doesn't seep too much everywhere. This stuff, I'm using the flash, which is actually meant for like vertical substrates, but it's okay. The idea is to apply the first coat, lay down some fleece. You're building a sandwich, right? Bread, your meat, and then more bread. Another layer of resin on top of this to saturate it, and this is to help strengthen it. This is reinforcement issues. So going to, oh god, this stuff's bad. I'm just gonna go to town, dude. Apply the fleece reinforcement. Now you're supposed to just saturate it in this stuff, just bury it. All right, so it looks like the putty has completely flashed off and set up, which is great news that was just filled in, that whole void. That was got me super nervous. Yeah, I'm just gonna apply this second coating of the PMMA, let it flash off. Well, it's not pretty, but I think it'll do. I'm gonna let this splash off. We're gonna go down there, I'm gonna tear up that carpet and see what's underneath. Unscrew the substrate. I'm going to keep this board and use it as a template for the layout for the new subboard that I'll be installing probably in the next video, to be honest. So I don't know what is going on with this subfloor, but like maybe it's like this in every, I don't know. It's almost like the guy used crappy old wood that's kind of has dry rot in it at the very end. The screws that went in are all rusted through. I can't get like a decent amount of them out, so I'm gonna have to rip this plywood off, slam the screws wherever they're at, and just hopefully they break off. This is a way bigger pain in the ass than I thought it was gonna be. My God. Really glad I tore this thing apart, because the more I tear it apart, the more I'm realizing there's some janky stuff going on in here, so yeah. nasty this wood is, dude. This is water damage and dry rot. Bad. All right, so tried filming myself taking the tape off on the PMMA up top, but that was really hard to do with one hand, so I stopped. But looks good. It's still curing, but it looks awesome while it's up there. Like, hopefully that completely seals and stops that leak. So the floor looks absolutely disgusting, and there's a lot of rust everywhere, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna do there. I don't know, dude, I really don't want to grind all of that and paint it all. That just sounds, I don't know. I'll figure it out. That was a full freaking day, dude. We are done. I did what I wanted to do while I was here. Yeah, that was it, dude. Thank you for watching. If you want to see this van build, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to document the whole freaking thing, and it's gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna learn a lot. There's gonna be a lot of mistakes made, so hopefully I can make those mistakes so you don't make those mistakes. Just like landscape photography. I'd make the mistakes and tell you so you don't have to either. So if you're into landscape photography, if you're into traveling, if you're into vlogging, if you're into this kind of lifestyle, be sure you hit subscribe. So I don't know what next week's gonna be. I don't know when we're gonna do the floor, but that is the next step. So see you later, bye.